Hello, boys and girls in Mass 6 Plus. I just wanted to touch base a little bit with what you did yesterday. I don't know if the sub had access to what I'm about to show you. I know that there was a video posted to the blog, but I did just want to kind of go back over the skill we talked about a little yesterday, percent increase and decrease. All right, so percent increase and decrease. Now, remember, there's a nice little formula you can use, a nice algorithm that you can use. It's percent change, or excuse me, change from original to new, original. I typically like to put whatever value is larger. Find that change that occurred, whether it was an increase or decrease, and what do? You divide that by what? You're dividing that by the original. All right, so if I take a look here, when Jeff was watching TV, the amount of times his eyelids blinked went from 50 blinks per minute to 75 blinks per minute. What was the percent increase? I'm automatically looking 75 and 50. Just to make it easier on myself, I know that 75 is larger than 50, so I'm going to find the change there. So obviously 75 minus 50 gives you 25. I am now, what percent is 25 of 50? So again, we're putting what the change was over the original. And in this case, the original was 50. All right, and we just go ahead and divide, set up the ratio. Amount of increase original, we have 25 over 50, which equals half, and obviously you know that is that's 50%. So the change was a 50%, and that would be a 50% what? That'd be a 50% increase because we went from 50 blinks per minute to 75. So you would label that as a 50% increase. I don't like they just put 50%. All right. So think about that, and here we go, Jeff's. And the nice way here is they put it in a nice sentence answer. The blinking of Jeff's eyelids increased by 50% when he watched TV. This probably happens to a lot of us, we just don't realize it. All right, take a look at another example here. In 2000, a certain stock is worth $9 a share. In 2003, the same stock is worth $3.80 a share. What was the percent decrease? So first thing I do is I need to find the change between what it was and what it now is. So again, I'm subtracting $9 minus $3.80. We see that the change was $5.20. I'll now put $5.20 over what the stock was originally. And back in 2000, it was originally $9. We have some decimals here. We need to set up the ratio. We have amount of decrease over original amount. We have 5 2/10 over 9. If you want to think of it that way, we're doing some division. That gives me 57 hundredths with the 7 repeating forever. If I convert that to a decimal, or excuse me, a percent, that'd be 57, and I really should put 57 7/10%, and that'd be a decrease, or what I can do is approximate it to approximately 58%. So again, something to think about as you're working through these. This round at the nearest tenth, I think it'd probably be better to round it to the nearest whole. So I would rather you guys see round that to the nearest whole, giving us 58% decrease. All right, now, if you want to think about it, you will have a quiz come Friday. There will be a quiz Friday. What you need to have on this quiz would be today and yesterday's lesson, which is the percent increase and decrease, to go along with when we were finding percents of a number, or knowing a percent when a certain number is given. So what percent of 93 is 58? That would be from last Thursday. You should have plenty of notes. That's only 2 skills that I'm going to assess you on. I might also, because you guys seem to be pretty fluent with it, ask you to convert a percent to a decimal and also to a fraction. So something along the lines of taking 5% and writing that as a decimal and also as a fraction. All right, so that is something to think about. I should be back. Like I said, my hope is to be back on Thursday. Sorry to disappoint some of you. But we will have a quiz come Friday. All right? Hope this helped you out a little bit. I'm going to allow the sub to give you your evening practice. It is two-sided. It is all the questions. They do have an answer key, so if you are looking for some additional support, there is an answer key to help support you. So the sub also could circulate the room and make sure that you guys are on the right track. This is to be done independently. Okay? All right. Hope all goes well. Take care. Bye.